Welcome everybody, my name is Mrs Wills and Deputy Head at Leasowes. We would like to welcome you to our first ever video recording of a transition information session. And what strange times we're currently encountering. Usually at this time of year you would be in Leasowes, getting to know your way around, meeting your new classmates, meeting lots of your teachers and having a really fantastic experience of all of the things that we're going to offer you. Sadly, you aren't able to do that this year, and whilst that might be a scary thought for some of you, actually at least one positive you can take from that is that everybody in September is going to be in exactly the same situation as you. You've had lots of information sent to you and lots of books and lots of things that we hope are going to put your mind at ease. September is going to be a really exciting time and we're certainly looking forward to it and hope you are too. In a moment, our head teacher is going to address you and I will be going through a PowerPoint with you to give you lots of really important information. However, for now, I'd like to introduce you to your head of year, Mr Burns, who's going to talk to you about himself and some other bits of information that you're going to need.
Welcome Year 7 and new entry for 2020-2021. My name is Mr Burns and I'll be your head of year at Leasowes High School. I started in Leasowes in 2001, so 19 years ago, so hopefully with all that experience I should be able to help you in lots of ways, and I may even know some of your family. I'm a full-time physical education teacher as well, so I hope to see lots of you involved in our different sports teams. We are currently running a virtual sports day. But if you wish to take part and make new friends and don't want to be too competitive, then you can join our recreational many clubs that we offer in lunch and after school. Our expectations are very high at Leasowes, and you will form lots of new relationships with different teachers and new children you may have not met before. So I want you to approach here with a positive attitude and willing to make new friends and work hard. You will also have a form tutor as your first port of call. If there are any issues, you will see them twice a day and also 3 times on a Friday. I'm so pleased you chose Leasowes, and together with this triangular relationship of you and your parents and the staff here, we'll work together to get you the best grades possible to make sure that you're happy. The first stage though is to make sure you settle in, and like life it can be a bit bumpy sometimes, but if you listen and follow our instructions and our advice and your parents, then you'll be just fine, as this is quite normal. Hope to see you all soon. Continue to stay safe and take care.
So welcome to the Leasowes High School PowerPoint presentation for Year 6s who are due to start September 2020 into our Year 7. Hopefully this PowerPoint will give you lots of information about our expectations and things that are going to happen when you arrive in September. However, there is nothing particularly new in here because all of you will by now have received a Year 6 induction information booklet. And ultimately the information on this PowerPoint is also in there as well. So we just wanted to talk to you about our aims as a school. Mr Minot has touched on some of those. However, our main aim is to enable all learners in our school should be able to learn. The idea is that when they leave here, they are fully prepared for the outside world. We want them to have a desire for lifelong learning, and we also want to be able to equip all of our learners with a skill set not only to do academic learning but also to successfully undertake any kind of task in life that the world throws at them as they leave us. We want to encourage effective communication and social skills because whilst it is also really very important that your child does academically well at school, which is clearly one of our main aims. One of our other main aims is that your children are able to be happy and that they are tolerant and respectful for others. And by doing that, we also encourage positive relationships, not only with other students, but also with staff, particularly your child's form tutor. So as you're already aware, your head of year is going to be Mr Burns. And you know already that our head teacher is Mr Minot. My name is Mrs Wills, I'm deputy head, but also for your information, our safeguarding leads are myself, our assistant head teacher, Mrs McAlevey, and also Mr Minot, the head teacher. So for any safeguarding concerns that you have, these are the people that you need to come and speak to. So as I said previously, all of this information is in your new intake booklet. At the moment, we are really hopeful that with no further government changes, all students in Year 6 going into year 7 will be starting school in September as normal, and therefore will be starting school on Wednesday the 3rd of September. On arrival, they will be expected to go to the sports hall and should enter via the back entrance off the car park at the front of school. We expect all of our students to arrive at school before 8:35 every day, and that is because that is the time that registration begins. Attendance and punctuality are very, very important, and therefore we expect all of our students to be attending school where possible every single day. At Leasowes, we have extremely high standards and expectations, and you will find all of this information in the copy of the booklet that you've already been sent. We would like you to pay particular attention to our rules and uniform expectations. One of the main reasons for this is because what we don't want to happen is that you turn up in September with maybe the wrong shoes on, or a wrong part of your uniform, the wrong coloured shirt, a haircut that is inappropriate, jewellery which is not acceptable, false nails maybe, or things like that, which we say absolutely no to in our rules and uniform requirements. Because if you do that, it would start off your year in the wrong mindset. So please pay particular attention to that. You've also got information and have been sent letters about our uniform suppliers, who are Oakes's, Dancers and Price Buckland Offline. And all of those suppliers supply the correct uniform. Clearly, we have a mobile phone policy in school, and that states that mobile phones should not be used during school time. We would prefer that mobile phones are not even brought onto school site. We understand that as a parent, you may be worried about your child making their way to and from school, particularly as it might be the first time that some of them are doing this without being brought and taken by yourselves. Some of them, it might be the first time that they're catching public transport to and from school. So we understand that the worry for that is big, and therefore having a mobile phone on them may help put your mind at rest. However, what we therefore ask is that if that is the case, the mobile phone is switched off on their entrance into school, is placed at the bottom of their school bag, and is not used for the rest of the school day. This includes contacting parents during the school day, and also parents contacting the students as well. We would ask that if you need to get in touch with your child, or they need to get in touch with you, that they go to reception or go and speak to a pastoral manager or head of year, and contact can be made in that way. If a mobile phone is seen out during the school day, then that will be confiscated, and ultimately they will need to collect it at the end of the day. The support of you as parents and seeing that the rules are observed is essential. School is also always willing to discuss any problems. We ask this because the partnership that we create as a school is absolutely essential. The support of you as parents or carers in seeing that our school rules are observed is essential, and it helps things run really smoothly. So if we as a school make decisions, or you as parents make decisions, we will always try to work with you, and we expect you to work with us in order to get the best possible outcome for your child. School is also willing to have a conversation and discuss issues as they arise, and we ask that you do this by contacting reception or a pastoral manager or your form tutor, so that we can deal with these matters as soon as possible. It's really difficult if there are issues that build and build, and then we find out later that an issue has been going on for some time and nobody has been made aware of it. So please make contact with us as soon as possible. In your child's planner, you will see a copy of a homeschool agreement and a parent contract. We would like you to read through that, and we expect everybody to adhere to those rules. We will adhere to them as a school, we want you to adhere to them as parents, and we also expect your child to adhere to them so that the best possible outcomes can be obtained for everybody. School rules are also explained and discussed in the PSHE programme, which your child will have every week. All school policies are available on the parent and carer's request and can be seen on our website. You will be provided with an Aspire login, where you'll be able to view all of your child's behaviour, attendance and assessment data. Hopefully, things all being well, come September and government guidelines, we will be able to get those done and sent out to you within the first week. All parents' evening appointments are also booked using this system, and we use Aspire and Parent Pay. A range of sanctions will be used by staff to reinforce the school rules that you see in your induction book. So we may give your child a break time or a lunchtime detention. It might be that it's a 10-minute detention at the end of the day, for which we don't need to give notice. A longer detention could be up to an hour, and you will receive 24 hours notice for this. A text will be sent, but you can also see this on the Aspire system. Failure to attend a longer detention will result in a senior leadership detention, which will take place on a Friday after school. We also operate internal exclusion, which we now call reflection, and offer students the opportunity to reflect on their behaviour and work through restorative practice with the member of staff for which the incident has taken place. Clearly, as a last resort, we may use exclusion, and we also use a modified change and transform programme to assist those students who may need to improve their behaviour, and this will be done in collaboration with students, with parents and with governors as well, in order to ensure that the contract or the programme is adhered to. We also believe that rewards are really important. So your child may receive certificates, achievement postcards, reward points which they can collect in lessons. They get attendance points. They also get points for helping out at parents' evenings. They may be mentioned in a student achievement booklet for which we have a celebration, and parents are invited to come and watch them collect their certificates and their prizes. And finally, they get an end-of-year reward trip, which we run to either Alton Towers or to Drayton Manor Park, for which they will need to collect points throughout the year for. So bullying is something that we take really seriously at Leasowes. Bullying is not a one-off incident. Bullying happens when someone is hurt emotionally or physically by another person, a group of people, over a period of time or on more than one occasion. And we take all kinds of bullying really very seriously, including online bullying. However, we can only deal with this if we know about it. So what we ask is that as parents, you inform the school as soon as possible. There is nothing worse for us than finding out that a bullying incident has been taking place for a number of weeks or months or a prolonged period of time, and then the child expects a resolve immediately when things come to a head. It is absolutely vital that you share this information with us, and it can be done really discreetly. It's not about snitching, it's about making sure that your child feels safe and happy in school. So you must tell us, and as a child, if you don't feel comfortable immediately or within the first term or however long speaking to school, then please tell your parent, and then your parent can inform the school. Please talk to your form tutor. We have mentors in school. We have pastoral managers, you have your head of year, you have senior leadership team, you have dinner ladies, anybody who you can speak to who you feel comfortable with, and just mention it to them, and then it can be picked up. Please do not leave bullying go undealt with. Equipment in school is absolutely vital. It is really important that you come to school fully equipped. We cannot provide enough pens, pencils, coloured pencils, etc. for every child who comes to school, and therefore the expectation is that you bring your own. So you're expected to bring a pencil case to school with you every day, and in that pencil case you should have your own pens, pencils, coloured pencils, a ruler, compass, protractor, a rubber, a pencil sharpener, a calculator, and you will also need an apron for your technology lessons. However, you can purchase that from school once you start with us. It's really important that you bring that right from the very first day, and that you bring that every day so that you are always prepared to learn. So at Leasowes, we operate a split lunch time so that years 7 and 8 have their lunch first, and then following that, the rest of the school come out and have their lunch. There's a range of different food that you can buy from school every day. So you may choose to have a sandwich or a baguette, a cooked meal, a jacket potato, salad, pasta, pizza, lots of different choices every day. And as I said previously, because we prefer children to bring no cash into school, the only way that you can pay for that is with our swipe card payment system. And that will be linked to your Aspire account, which again, you will get within the first few days of starting with us. If you don't want to buy your lunch from school, that's absolutely fine. You can bring sandwiches in from home or your lunch in from home. However, we ask that you eat those in the designated areas only. We do not allow you to wander around school eating, because it attracts seagulls and it creates lots of litter, which in turn create lots of problems for us as a school. Schools from within Dudley and those students who have come from there, you will be able to automatically be passed on to us the information that you have regarding free school meals. So if your child is in receipt of a free school meal currently, that will automatically be passed over, providing that your child goes to a Dudley school. However, if your child is coming from a school within Sandwell or Birmingham or any other local authority, unfortunately that information will not be passed over. So If you are in receipt of a free school meal and you are expecting your child to receive that on the first day at school, it is absolutely vital that before that you look through the booklet that's been sent out to you and you follow the link to the Dudley Benefits section within the booklet. That will give you the information that you need in order to reapply for free school meals at a Dudley school. That will be then put on the system so it's in place, ready for September. You have all now been asked to complete emergency contact forms, which should already have been returned to school. Within that, there is medical information. If you have any medical information that you need to pass on to school, please, it is absolutely vital that that is done and that a meeting, if needed, is arranged with our school nurse so that a care plan can be put in place for your child. Within that medical emergency pack, there will also be the section to keep your emergency contact details. It is absolutely vital that those are kept up to date. So for whatever reason, you might change your mobile phone number, or you might want to add a contact to that list, or you may change your email address. Please use your student's planner in order to inform us and make sure that your child passes that information on to their form tutor. Failing that, you could also contact reception, but it is absolutely vital that those emergency contact numbers are kept up to date, because if there is an incident in school and we need to get in touch with you, we need to do that confidently. If a child is ill, they will be taken to the school nurse or a first aider, and parents will be contacted. It is vital that that process is followed and that students do not contact their parent in the first instance by themselves. Students needing to go home will only be allowed to be collected by a parent or carer or somebody on the emergency contact list. They cannot leave site by themselves in order to walk home. And a parent or carer will need to go to reception in order to collect their child. They cannot arrange to meet them in the car park at the front of school or off-site somewhere, because we need to ensure that they are picked up by an adult. All of this helps us with our safeguarding, and for us, as we've said before, safeguarding is really very, very important. Our aim is to keep your child as safe as possible. Thank you very much for listening. If you've got any further questions on the letters that you've been sent, you will find my email address. However, please, as I said, refer to the booklet, and any other questions will be answered within that.
So, as the head teacher of Leasowes High School, I want to formally welcome you to becoming part of the new Year 7 for September, joining as part of 210 new starters. Again, more and more of you wanting to become part of this school and a part of Invictus Education Trust. Normally, before I speak to the parents and children as part of our induction evening, I ask my head boy and head girl to share with you some of their thoughts about how they start a new school and the opportunities that will be given to you. They would talk about how they felt on their first day, how nervous they would be, and how there was always someone there to help them. They share some of the clubs, some of the activities, trips that they've got involved in, resulting in them over the years wanting to become more involved and then becoming leaders, and share what they've learnt with their students and new students coming into school, and then ultimately wanting to be the student leadership team of prefects and head boy and head girl. So I'm going to essentially do that for you, but I want to just give you something that I always share with parents. A few years ago, I came across a letter that was said as being sent to a school teacher from the American President Abraham Lincoln. It's actually disputed as to where it comes from and where it has actually originated, but as a parent myself, it shared many of the qualities that I would want children in my school and my own children in a school to want to become. This is what some of that letter says. My son started school today. It's all going to be strange and new to him for a while, and I wish you would treat him gently. It is an adventure that will take him across continents. All adventures that will probably include wars, tragedy and sorrow. To live this life will require faith, love and courage. So dear teacher, will you please take him by his hand and teach him things that he will have to know, teaching him but gently if you can. Teaching that for every enemy there is a friend. He will have to know that not all men are just, that not all men are true, but teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every crooked politician there's a dedicated leader. Teach him to be gentle with people, tough with tough people. Steer him away from envy if you can, and teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Teach him, if you can, how to laugh when he's sad. teaching there is no shame in tears, teaching there can be glory in failure and despair in success. Teach him, if you can, the wonder of books, but also give time to ponder the extreme mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun and flowers on a green hill. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tell him they are wrong. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone else is doing it. Teach him to listen to everyone, but teach him to filter all that he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Let him have the courage to be patient. Let him have the patience to be brave. Teach him to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will always have some sublime faith in mankind and God. What a beautiful letter. One possibly written in the 1800s. It speaks of many qualities that as a parent you'll be wanting to see in your children, and we will endeavour to do this. We will, over the next 5 to 7 years, shape how your children will become as they enter our school and be ready to leave it, so they can be proud of who they are. Your children start Leasowes High School in September in many ways not knowing what school may look like. Please make sure that you use those induction booklets and the induction processes that we've managed to put in place for you. The booklets that have been sent out, but more importantly, make sure you check the website out, which gives the important information of induction, and a whole tab on there purely for you and for your start. There are videos on there, people that you will meet. Children, though, please be assured that when you do get to start in September, we will start that induction process with you, rather than putting you straight into those lessons. We will support and we will help. And then when you do start, please make the most of every opportunity that you are given. Mr. Burns has already shared with you the different activities that you could be doing. Get involved in form activities and competitions. Join new clubs like the arts, retro gaming. Become a member of the award-winning STEM technology team. Or get a trial for one of the many sports teams. One thing I encourage every year for Year 7s is to join at least one activity outside of the normal school days. You'll meet new people and learn new skills. This will then help foster in you as individuals the willingness to become leaders throughout your school career. Don't waste your time whilst with us, because so much can be offered. Parents, you're going to be very anxious about September and what it will be like for your children. We'll do all we can to make sure the start for your children is smooth. I encourage you to keep a careful watch of the website and other social media platforms that the school and Invictus Education use, the Twitter, the Facebook page and the Instagram. We will use these for our updates, as we'll not necessarily be able to email out straight to you through our school email system until September. Obviously, things like uniform you'll need to get sorted, and stockists and dancers and oaks will be ready for you. But also we do have online with price and booklet. So it's important that you're going to need to be just as organised as I am as a parent, ready for September with the rephasing of opening of shops. So really, to end, I look forward to welcoming you formally as soon as we can, face to face as soon as we can, here in Leasowes High School. But until then, please take care and stay safe.